there for you? Beautiful. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I am so excited for today's call, all about embodiment and just really letting go and moving forward. Something that we shared before we hit record is it just seems like the perfect time to really just release the weight of the last few years. I feel like people are starting to get that passion again and they're starting to feel that excitement again, but there may be still that little thing that like we're afraid to step because we've had 3 years of stepping and stopping or completely stopping, completely being pulled back. And so maybe there's that little bit of fear. Maybe there's some emotions you still haven't dealt with. Maybe the last 3 years didn't affect you at all, but you have something completely different that you're here for today that you want to release. Maybe you're here and you're like, what the heck is embodiment? I have no idea what I'm doing. And if that's you, that's amazing. Thank you for being here, whether it's live or on the replay. Embodiment to me is so funny how when we step away from work and we step away from the to-do list, and it's that thing that we kind of put off for ourselves because we're like, we don't have time. We have this never-ending to-do list. Oh my gosh, we're so busy, busy, busy. And then, when I'm off raking my yard, it's like I get this moment of peace when I'm doing that. I get this moment where I'm not in my head and all my racing mind kind of stops. And it's just this thing where I'm just so in the moment and I'm doing this and I go, oh my gosh, this is it. This is embodiment. Like, because people always ask me, what is it? And it's so hard to explain to people. I'm like, it's that present feeling. It's that here and now. It's that connection. And the best way to describe it, it's that thing when you're painting or you're driving and you have a really good song on, or you're dancing, or you're hiking, or you're talking with a really good friend and you're laughing and you forget about all time and space and anything else outside of yourself. That is embodiment. It's getting out of this busy mind of ours and kind of stepping out of like all these crazy emotions. And we're just like in this beautiful presence, right? And we've all felt it and we all love that feeling. But I think not all of us know that we can tap into it at any time. We don't need to be doing I always encourage the hike and the friendships and the things that bring you there. Those are all beautiful things. Those are all signs that you're doing the right thing in the right moment. But you can tap into it when you're when you're at work. You can tap into it when you're driving the kids to school. You can drop into it at any time. It's always available to us. And the reason why we want to drop into that is because the structured mind loves to live in fear. And it loves, there's the cat again, Sarah. Every time me and Sarah do a call and we start talking emotional stuff, the cat comes. See, there's these weird things. Anyways, the structured mind loves to keep you safe, right? So we're not mad at the structured mind. It's not a bad thing. We need to be safe. Safe is good. And some stress is even good, but we don't want to live there. We're never meant to live there. The mind wants to keep you safe, so it assesses everything as risk and danger, and it loves to catalog all of the times that it hasn't worked out. Yeah. And so it's either living in the past or it's living in the future, and it's offering you all these stories, and it's exhausting. Don't you ever just get tired when you just hear your own brain going and you're like, oh my goodness, like enough. Yeah. And so especially when we've collected all this evidence over the last 3 years, some of us have just given up on our dreams, right? Or we feel like it's so hard to step back into our dreams because the mind is like, but what if? What if we try again? What if we step in again and it gets taken away? Or what if, like, it loves to offer the what ifs. So emotional healing, I truly believe, happens when we can sit with our feelings, when we can be in the body, when we can be in the present moment. That's like rest and digest. That's the parasympathetic space. This is where the body heals because our body has been designed to self-heal. Yeah, it has been. That's the way it's designed. It's a beautiful creation. It's perfect. But it can only do that when we're in this parasympathetic state. And that's where cellular healing happens, emotional healing happens. And it's such a beautiful thing. So that's what we're going to do tonight. or today, whenever you're watching the replay, we're going to just go inward. I'm going to guide you inward. And if this is your first time, you might not notice anything much. And if you've done it a few times, you might drop in easier. It just kind of, it's like one of those things. It's a muscle that we need to keep flexing, because the more that we notice when we are in that rest and digest, when our nervous systems are calm, right? All of a sudden, I promise you this, I've witnessed it with many people, not just myself, is you're going to start to notice who your nervous system does not vibe with. You're going to start to notice when you're feeling safe and when you're feeling content. You're going to notice, and you're going to want to be in that beautiful space, and you're going to stop settling for anything less. You're going to want it more and more. You're going to crave it because it feels safe. You feel connected, right? This is why co-nourishing communities are so important. This is why our oils are so important, because did you know, like, pick up your oil right now, whatever you have with you. I've got a big old Valor, and just put it in your hands if you can, if you have it. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath, because our essential oils are good for the nervous system. They put us in a parasympathetic state because they are nature. And a deep breath starts to get us into a parasympathetic state. So these are all things, these are all tools that we already have. And it's so beautiful. Yes. That just feels better already, doesn't it? I know, it's amazing. So go into this session. We won't do a long one. We'll go in for about 10 minutes. That's all it's going to take. And you can come back to this replay and to this as many times as you need. And we're going to have another call closer to the end of this challenge. And you might notice some shifts. I want you to really pay attention to the day you've had before you showed up here. Not judging anything, not labeling anything. Just really being with your feelings and noticing the discomforts, noticing the anxiety, right? And then notice how you feel after a few minutes of this embodiment work, and just notice how amazing you are. And then we have this gift, our breath, that has been with us from the moment we came earthside, and will be with us until the moment we leave. And it's just effortless, and it's there, right? Something loved us enough to give us that breath. How beautiful is that, right? And it's free. And you'll be able to use this tool as often as you want as well. So really notice how you're feeling going in and how you feel coming out. And honesty is the best policy. What we resist persists. So if we try to resist the yucky feeling, we're actually making the yucky feeling keep going, right? I don't even like to label them yucky feelings anymore. I think everything is like just trying to get our attention. And if we listen to our bodies enough, like, I think the anxiety is asking for something. I think the shame is asking for something, right? I think that our bodies are always communicating if we're willing to listen. Yeah. All right. We're going to go inward. So get cozy. If you want to put some oils on, pick your favorites that speak to you. Beautiful. I'm so honored to hold space for you today and to guide you in. And then we'll save some time for any questions or comments afterwards. All right. So if it feels good, close your eyes if that feels safe. You can keep your eyes open if that feels safer, whatever feels good to you. And just remember to let this experience be whatever it is. It is so perfect. You can't get it wrong. Beautiful. So we are just going to start with some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. And another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And on this inhale, inhale, we're going to hold at the top. And let's just set an intention here of safety. It is safe to let go. It is safe to release. When you're ready, let it out. Beautiful. And I just want you to imagine you are floating on top of the ocean. Imagining a brilliant warm light. And we are going to take a deep dive under the water, and we're going to swim down, 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 down. And as you make your way to the bottom of the ocean floor, I want you to imagine that beautiful golden light followed you down there. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And this beautiful golden light dances in through the crown of your head. And I want you to let it fill the mind, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the jaw with love and light, and feel your face relax. As this light dances down the throat and into the heart, feel your heart open, feel your shoulders relax. As this beautiful light dances into the belly, feel your belly relax. Now I want you to imagine this beautiful light goes through the legs, rooting out of your feet, filling the earth with this beautiful golden root. We're just going to take a few deep breaths together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you continue to keep breathing, I want you to imagine this beautiful golden light that is within you starts to fill up the whole ocean. And this beautiful light that fills the ocean, how far can you take it? Can you stretch it to fill the sky? And from this space of taking up space, being free to take up space, you can never take up too much space. Just scan the body and just notice if you can feel anywhere that feels tight or restrictive. And when you find a place like that, I want you to pour that loving light into that space until you feel it let go. Beautiful. That's it. Beautiful. It is safe to feel it. And let's take some deeper breaths. If you can take an even deeper inhale, letting that air fill your belly, and exhale. We're going to breathe in safety and connection and breathe out the residual from that feeling. Yeah. And if you still need to stay with the same place, that's beautiful, and do that. But if you're ready to scan the body again and find another space in the body that feels tight or restrictive, we're just going to pour that loving light onto the space. Beautiful. And we're going to start swimming up from the bottom of the ocean. I want you to imagine as you're swimming, just feeling this beautiful release. Each time you swim up, an old layer sheds away and falls to the bottom of the water. And what are you letting go of as you swim towards the top? Nice deep breath here. As we make our way to the top of the water, I want you to imagine you're floating, so held. Notice if you can find a space in the body where you know the truth that you are always supported. And from this space of being held, of this space of releasing the old, the question, what is the next step? And let's take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, holding at the top. Feeling everything in the body, feeling the heartbeat, feeling the safety. When you're ready, let it all out. And another deep breath in through the nose. This time we're going to hold on the out, exhale and hold. And the intention here is it's safe to step into my dreams. And when you're ready, take a breath. And now just scanning the body for a place that feels expansive. For a place that feels safe within yourself. And when you find it, just really bring all your awareness to it and see if you can feel it grow. Take another deep breath together in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, holding at the top. Am I ready to let go of the weight of the world? If you're ready, when you exhale, let it all go. Use the ribs to carry. Beautiful. Now we're just going to go back to those spaces that you found before. If you found any that felt tight, that felt restricted, and just see if you've noticed them shift or move. See if they feel a little bit lighter. As we come back to this space, just bring your awareness now to the smell in the room, the sounds. Feel for the support that is underneath you, whatever you're sitting on. Feel how connected you are, how rooted you are. You need to stretch, give yourself a nice hug. Take your time returning to this space. There's no rush. Beautiful. Does anyone want to share? You don't have to share, but if you feel called to share, you can unmute yourself. Or if you have questions.
It's very beautiful, Gloria.
Yay.
Yeah, it was so, I just had a really warm feeling throughout my body, and also like almost like a white light going throughout my body, cleansing everything. It was so beautiful. It's one of the best meditations ever. Thanks.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
And I've been meditating for 50 years.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a compliment. I would like to take the credit, but
Yeah, it was very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Aw, I'm so glad that
I
helped.
studied meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who taught the Beatles. So I traveled to Europe and spent 3 months meditating when I was like 23. So it's but I've never yeah, I became a teacher of meditation, and I taught for about 10 years, way back then. But I don't teach it now, but I don't practice as often as I should. And this was just very, very deep and beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
I'm so glad it was so good for you. I'm always like the 10-minute ones.
Great.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? You don't have to. But do you see how you don't need very long? I didn't take very long. Do we feel better than when we came onto the call? Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I would love to take credit, but I'm always like, use me as a vessel. Work through me. Right? So,
Beautiful. Yeah,
um,
it definitely works.
but it's just amazing to me how we all have that inside of us, right? We all have this place that we can connect to where we feel safe and connected, where we know that we are more than our mind, we are more than our thoughts. And when we can drop into that space, we can really let go of what we've been holding on to, because when we try to resist, right, it persists, like we said at the beginning, and we can't solve the problems from the same thing that created the problems. Yeah. So what I often find with people is that we get so hooked on the mindset work, but 80% of our nervous system is in the body, and the body wins every time, right? And so when we resist feeling, when we resist leaning in, when we resist these moments of getting in the body, we might think, whatever, we're not feeling it, it's fine. But it's all in there vibrating, these little lower energies, right? Yeah. So you can tap in anytime. Literally, when I'm driving the kids, I'll feel for the seat underneath me, because that in my mind just gives me that I'm supported right now. We're always supported. We're always held. Right now, you can feel that. So keep practicing, keep leaning in. Ask your body when you experience things that are coming up as you heal. It's like, right, once you open it up, you're going to start feeling things kind of whoosh, whoosh, especially as you're good night, especially as you're using these oils and doing this emotional release. You're going to feel things coming up and out, and really allow it to move, right? Don't resist it. Allow it to come out. If you have to cry, cry. If you have to laugh at how ridiculous everything was, laugh. If you need to mourn, mourn, right? There are no bad feelings. We need to feel them, and we need to ask, what do you need from me in this moment? And sometimes it's like, I need a cup of tea, I need my oils, or I need my bestie. And then honoring that, honoring what the body is asking for. Maybe it's rest, right? Maybe it's that painting class, maybe it's whatever. So honoring that. And I'm just so grateful for each of you, all these beautiful humans like doing the work. Like, what a beautiful world it's going to be if we keep this ripple going, right? Amazing. Mwah. Thank you, ladies. Have a beautiful rest of your night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Frank.